You feel it the moment the door closes. Not sadness, exactly. Something older than sadness. A specific dull weight that settles somewhere behind your ribs and doesn't move. You scroll through your phone. You check the same 3 apps. Nothing changes. The weight stays. What you're feeling right now is not a modern problem. It is not caused by social media or city living, or the fact that your neighbors don't know your name. What you're feeling is a 400 million-year-old alarm system going off inside your body. And it is doing exactly what it was designed to do. This is the loneliness effect. Your brain does not distinguish between physical pain and social pain. This is not a metaphor. It is neuroscience. In 2003, researcher Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA ran a study called Cyberball. Participants played a simple virtual ball tossing game with 2 other players. Then, mid-game, the other players stopped throwing the ball to them. They were excluded, silently, digitally. And when Eisenberger scanned their brains, she found something no one expected. The same region that lights up when you break a bone, when you burn your hand on a stove, when your body registers physical injury, that exact region activated when someone was left out of a game. The anterior cingulate cortex, the brain's pain center, firing for a ball-tossing game. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a broken arm and being left out of a conversation. Think about what that means for a moment. Somewhere in your evolutionary past, that reaction was not a flaw. It was a feature. You did not survive alone. No human did. For hundreds of thousands of years, your ancestors lived in small bands of 20 to 50 people. Every single resource you needed, food, warmth, protection from predators, help raising children, came from that group. Being excluded from the group was not uncomfortable. It was a death sentence. And so your brain evolved a system to make sure you never let it happen. Pain. The moment you felt disconnected from your people, your brain hit an alarm. Fix this. Get back. Reattach. The pain was not punishment. It was motivation. It was your nervous system screaming, "This is an emergency." That system is still running inside you right now. The hardware has not changed. The world around it has changed completely. Researcher John Cacioppo spent over 30 years studying loneliness at the University of Chicago. What he found is staggering. Loneliness does not just make you feel bad. It physically degrades your body. Lonely people have higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Their immune systems are compromised. Their sleep is lighter and less restorative. Their cardiovascular systems age faster. Cacioppo's research showed that chronic loneliness increases the risk of early death by 26%, a number comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Not cigarettes a week, a day. You are not being dramatic when loneliness feels like it is killing you. It is. But here is where it gets stranger. Here is where the ancient machinery begins to misfire in the modern world. When your ancestors felt lonely, the solution was nearby. Walk 20 feet. Find your people. Sit by the fire. The pain resolved quickly because the social world was small and immediate. Your brain's alarm system was calibrated for a world where reconnection was always within reach. That world no longer exists. Now you can be surrounded by 8 million people in a city and feel completely alone. You can have 400 followers online watching your every post and feel like no one sees you. You can be in a room full of coworkers and feel like a ghost. And when the alarm fires and says, "Fix this, reconnect," there is no campfire to walk toward. The signal has nowhere to go, so it stays on. Cacioppo described something he called hypervigilance in lonely people. When the alarm stays on too long, your brain begins to interpret the social world as threatening. Every ambiguous interaction becomes a potential rejection. The colleague who didn't reply to your email, they must be annoyed with you. The friend who took 3 hours to text back, they are pulling away. Your brain, marinating in its own alarm signal, starts to misread neutral faces as hostile. It begins to expect rejection before it happens. And that expectation, that defensive crouch against the world, makes genuine connection harder, which deepens the loneliness, which intensifies the alarm, which sharpens the hypervigilance. It becomes a loop, a very old piece of emergency software running in a world it was never built for. Now think about what you were doing the last time you felt lonely. Really think about it. There is a good chance you reached for your phone, opened an app, scrolled, liked something, maybe posted something. And for a moment, maybe 15 seconds, maybe a minute, the weight lifted slightly. And then it returned. Inherently the enemy here. But researcher Sherry Turkle at MIT has documented something important in her work on technology and human connection. She calls it being alone together. You are physically present in a social space, a cafe, a living room, a dinner table, but each person is in a private digital world. The bodies are close, the nervous systems are miles apart. And because your ancient brain reads closeness through physical cues, eye contact, voice tone, touch, the micro-expressions on a face, digital proximity does not satisfy the alarm. It mimics connection just enough to confuse the system, just enough that you keep reaching for it. Never quite enough to turn the alarm off. This is not a personal failure. This is a hardware problem. You were built for a social world that had a smell, a texture, a temperature. You were built to read the tension in someone's shoulders, to feel the warmth of someone sitting beside you, to hear the rhythm of someone else breathing in the dark. Those inputs are what your nervous system recognizes as, we are safe, we are together, the alarm can rest. A notification cannot do that. A like cannot do that. Even a phone call, Cacioppo's research suggests, does not fully satisfy the deep social circuits. The body needs the body. And yet, here you are, living in a world that has, with tremendous efficiency, separated bodies from each other. Long commutes in sealed cars, work-from-home setups, apartment buildings where 100 people share a wall and never learn each other's names. All of it is comfortable, all of it is efficient, and all of it is running up against 400 million years of social wiring that was built for something warmer and closer and louder. There is a city in Denmark, a concept really, that has spread across Scandinavia, called co-housing. Groups of people design their living spaces intentionally around shared meals, shared gardens, shared childcare. Not communes, not giving up privacy, just engineering proximity back into daily life. The people who live in co-housing communities report dramatically lower levels of loneliness. Their cortisol levels are lower. Their reported happiness is higher. They are not doing anything radical. They are doing something ancient. They rebuilt the campfire. The loneliness alarm responds to the same inputs it always has. It just needs to find them in a world that has largely stopped providing them by default. So what do you do with all of this? What does the science actually suggest? Start with something concrete and physical. Not a text, not a post. A walk with someone. A shared meal. Eye contact held for longer than feels comfortable. Your nervous system is not persuaded by digital signals. It needs the real thing. It needs the ancient inputs, voice, proximity, touch, presence. Even brief moments of genuine physical presence, researcher Barbara Fredrickson at the University of North Carolina found, can shift your biology. She calls it positivity resonance, the moment two nervous systems briefly synchronize. It happens in eye contact, in laughter, in sitting quietly next to someone who matters to you. It is measurable, it is real, and it is free. Your ancestors did not need a study to know this. They just needed the fire. The heaviness behind your ribs is not weakness. It is information. It is a signal from a system that is 400 million years old, trying to tell you something that every human before you already knew. You are not built for this much alone. The moment you felt that weight settle when the door closed, that was not sadness. That was your body, in its ancient and serious way, asking you to walk toward the fire. The fire is still there. You just have to find where it moved.